Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. This 90-day fiancé couple split is shocking, but the reason why is even worse. Julia Trubkina's long-awaited family visit turned into a 90-day fiancé nightmare when Brandon Gibbs walked out with his parents, sparking one of the most explosive fights of happily ever after. After 5 years together, Julia and Brandon, who met on 90 Day, the last resort, have faced ongoing challenges. Brandon wants children, Julia wants boundaries with her in-laws, and they are hoping to bring her family to America. By the tell-all, they were the only couple still together, but happily ever after has tested their relationship. Julia's parents' visit was meant to celebrate their life as a couple, but the first night erupted into a massive fight, ending with Brandon storming out with his parents. What does this mean for this couple on the show? Brandon's parents, Betty and Ron Gibbs, have always struggled with boundaries, and this season is no different. Julia is excited to bring her parents abroad and show them their lifestyle as a couple. She even warns her in-laws beforehand that there won't be much space once her parents arrive. Yet, after spending hours driving back and forth to the airport and hours on the plane in the case of Julia's parents, they're greeted by Brandon's eager parents. Everyone is exhausted from their trips, and Julia lost her voice, playing translator. Julia is clearly unhappy, and while she tries to explain why she was upset, it is clear her emotions are getting the best of her. While she might not have had the best attitude, Brandon's parents were offended by her actions and stormed out. Brandon, equally upset with his wife because he didn't like how Julia treated his parents, stormed out behind them. Although Julia clearly communicated before and during the events, it seems that the Gibbs had ganged up on the Russian native. Now it seems like the 90-day fiancé couple has reached an all-time low, especially with Julia threatening to change the locks. In the past, the 90-day fiancé star's parents were labeled as franchise master manipulators. Julia and Brandon's parents struggled to get along from the very moment she learned she would live and work on their farm, as well as abide by their strict rules. However, Betty and Ron refused to respect the couple's privacy and independence as a new couple. In fact, Betty even went so far as to humiliate her son for having a hickey, despite them being engaged and well into their 20s. Living together was causing too much turmoil, so Brandon and Julia finally signed a lease. But that only set Betty off. She wasn't ready to lose her son, and, in a fit of tears, she cried that Julia was the one manipulating Brandon. Ron was equally irate, screaming at the young couple for having the audacity to move out. Fans saw past the tears and yells quickly. It seemed they cared more about free farm work. Unfortunately, moving out hasn't seemed to change things for the young couple. Betty and Ron still don't respect boundaries and instead flip the situation onto Julia and her reactions. However, Brandon walking out was an all-time low. Overall, Julia's emotions and thought process are totally understandable. Tons of 90-day fiancé stars have complained about the plane and travel time. It was insensitive for Brandon's family to show up, and it was equally appalling to watch him walk out on his wife. The first night his in-laws were there no less. He and his family certainly didn't make the best impression on viewers, and there's no telling how his in-laws feel. Now, Julia seems ready to end their relationship, and this might be the final straw. When it comes to 90-day fiancé, viewers expect drama. They expect family feuds, awkward cultural clashes, and last-minute wedding doubts. But every now and then, the franchise drops a bombshell so unexpected that even seasoned fans, who have seen couples unravel in spectacular fashion, are left completely stunned. The recent split of one couple has fans reeling, not because breakups are rare in the franchise, but because of the unthinkable reason behind it. A love story that seemed promising. When audiences were first introduced to Layla, a 27-year-old from Brazil, and Connor, a 31-year-old from Michigan, their love story looked like it could defy the odds. They met online through a language exchange app. What started as casual conversations turned into late-night calls, video chats, and virtual dates. Connor even learned Portuguese to impress her family, and Layla began studying English slang so she could better connect with his friends. By the time Connor flew to Rio de Janeiro, sparks were flying. Their chemistry on screen was undeniable. They laughed at each other's jokes, shared passionate kisses on the beach, and made grand declarations about their future. TLC marketed them as one of the sweethearts of their season. Fans rooted for them, hopeful that theirs would be a rare success story. Early red flags ignored. Still, observant viewers noticed cracks beneath the picture-perfect romance. Connor was quiet and sometimes dismissive when Layla expressed her worries about leaving her family behind. Layla, on the other hand, had moments where her frustration boiled over, especially when she accused Connor of not being transparent about his finances. But in the world of 90 Day Fiancé, these were standard growing pains. Couples have fought over everything from food preferences to time zones. No one expected what came next. The sudden announcement. 2 months after their season wrapped filming, Connor took to Instagram with a lengthy statement. Layla and I have decided to end our relationship. This wasn't an easy decision, but sometimes love isn't enough. We ask for privacy while we process this. Fans flooded the comments with heartbreak emojis and questions. Layla responded a day later with a much more cryptic post. The truth will come out soon. I can't keep pretending anymore. Those words lit a firestorm. What truth? Why was she implying there was more to the story? The shocking reason behind the split. A week later, during an exclusive tell-all interview, Layla revealed the disturbing cause of their breakup. Connor had been hiding a double life. According to Layla, she discovered that while she was preparing her K-1 visa paperwork, Connor was still actively involved with his ex-girlfriend back in Michigan. He hadn't just been texting her, he had been living with her. The entire time Connor was filming, making promises of a future with Layla, he was allegedly splitting his time between 2 women. It felt like my entire world collapsed, Layla admitted tearfully. I thought I was building a new life with someone who loved me. Instead, I was just part of his game. Betrayal cuts deep. What made the betrayal worse was the way Connor allegedly managed to deceive everyone around him. TLC producers, friends, even his own family. No one suspected he was juggling 2 relationships. Layla said she found out by accident when she logged onto Connor's laptop to check flight information and discovered messages, photos, and even bank transactions tied to his ex. Every kiss we shared on camera, every I love you, it was all tainted, she said. For fans, this revelation was devastating. They had shipped Layla and Connor as one of the season's strongest couples. To learn that the romance had been built on lies left many questioning how much of what they saw on TV was authentic. Fallout among the cast. Other cast members were quick to weigh in. Some expressed solidarity with Layla, praising her for speaking up and exposing the truth. Others criticized Connor harshly, calling him manipulative and selfish. One co-star remarked during a live Q&A, "It's bad enough to break someone's heart, but to humiliate them on international TV? That's next-level cruel." Connor's side of the story. Connor, for his part, denied some of Layla's claims. He admitted to emotional confusion and unfinished business with his ex, but insisted he never intended to deceive Layla. "I loved Layla," he said in a follow-up interview. "I still do. But I wasn't ready to close certain chapters of my life. I made mistakes, and I'll live with them." Fans weren't buying it. His comments sparked outrage across Reddit forums, where many accused him of gaslighting and trying to downplay the severity of his actions. The bigger issue. This split has become more than just another breakup in the 90 Day Fiancé universe. It has ignited larger conversations about the pressures of the show and the real consequences of rushing international relationships under a 90-day timeline. Some argue that the format encourages reckless commitments, while others believe it simply reveals truths that couples might have hidden for years otherwise. For Layla, the experience has been both traumatic and liberating. She says she is done with Connor for good, but she doesn't regret being on the show. If I hadn't said yes to 90 Day Fiancé, I might still be living in a fantasy. Now I know my worth. I know I deserve honesty, she said. What's next for Layla? Since the breakup, Layla has been focusing on healing and rebuilding her confidence. She has launched a YouTube channel where she documents her life post-Connor, sharing travel vlogs, cooking tutorials, and raw reflections on love and betrayal. Her following has grown rapidly, with fans admiring her resilience and independence. Meanwhile, Connor has retreated from the spotlight. His social media accounts remain sporadically active, but the comment sections are filled with backlash. Some fans speculate he may try to return to reality TV to redeem his image, though others doubt TLC would take that risk. The lesson fans can't ignore. The shocking end of Layla and Connor's relationship is a painful reminder that not everything on reality TV is as it seems. Behind every on-screen smile can lurk secrets and lies. But it's also a testament to the strength of those who choose to walk away rather than accept deception. In Layla's words, love should never come with betrayal. It should never make you feel small. And if it does, you have to be brave enough to let it go. In the end, this split isn't just another dramatic 90-Day Fiancé headline. It's a cautionary tale about trust, transparency, and the dangers of living two lives under one spotlight. And while the breakup itself shocked fans, the reason behind it, the deliberate web of lies, proved to be the worst part of all.